in politics like
that. All right. What was my question?
It doesn't matter. Nobody answers the questions I ask, so you can just go ahead and say whatever's on your mind. No, the question the listener had for you was what makes you the most angry, and then it was what topic really pushes his buttons. So you can choose to answer that either what makes you angriest out there in the world or on your show.
It usually starts when I wake up in the morning. What makes me the most angry is to realize just where, I'll tell you what makes me the most angry, I have a listener, Kay, from San Francisco, who's a school teacher, and she emails me a lot, and what we talk about in these emails is the lack of education that the kids get about the real history of this country. And what makes me the angriest is the depth and breadth of the ignorance in this country. And I'm not saying that as any kind of an educational elitist. The last thing I graduated from, I think, was high school. So it's not like, I'm not real educated like Thom, but...
I got thrown out of high school.
Yeah, he got thrown out of high school.
I did not graduate.
He really did. But,
you too?
Yeah, he got thrown out.
Me too.
Tell him why.
No.
But...
Stephanie, a bunch of losers up there.
Yeah, we are. We absolutely are. But understanding how critical it is to know where we've come from, who we are, what we've done. I never learned that the country was founded on slavery and genocide, which it was. I never learned all the stuff that I should have been learning when I was in high school and even middle school. So that's the thing that irritates me the most. I think I got a wonderful public education. There were just huge holes where it concerned the history of the United States. And now, it's even gotten worse. When you have lobbying groups of parents who are, on the one hand, pushing for creationism to go in the science books, on the other hand, saying that there's too much emphasis on the social heroes in this country, whether they are blacks or whites or Native Americans, whatever. There's too much emphasis on that. That's the part that makes me the most angry.
Thom, your question is serious because I've learned you're the serious one, but it comes from Skip in Edmonds, and I'm gonna.
Bill wants to compete with.
Oh wait, no, Bill is serious. Bill is serious.
Bill's a serious guy.
Yes,
I'm also XM.
Ladies and germs.
He's here all week. And I'm going to have to rephrase it a little bit because it's one of those long ones, but basically it says Thom Hartmann is constantly trashing my president because he's not living up to Tom's far left positions. And the question is, Thom. Yeah, Thom, there you go. Progressives did not elect President Obama. Moderates did, which came up here a little bit earlier. But I don't know how you want to respond to that. I mean, and does that change how you would critique the president? Given where those votes might have come from and who at the time last November believed he was going to be a liberal?
It's an interesting question. I don't think of myself as trashing the president, first of all. But one of the reasons why, and in fact we had a conversation about this in the car on the way over here, one of the reasons why I absolutely don't do suck-up interviews with politicians. And we were comparing stories about one particular senator, I'm not going to name, in particular that several of us have had a very similar experience with, Bill and I actually, where in my case I had this senator on and asked the senator, this was like 3 years ago, and the senator had solicited to come on the show about the war and asked my war questions, and then I said, why are you supporting the bankruptcy bill? And the senator got very upset with me for asking that question. And I pointed out that half of all bankruptcies are medical, another third of bankruptcies are women who got divorced. There's only less than 1%, 0.7% of bankruptcies are fraudulent, and the rate of prosecution, successful prosecution of fraudulent bankruptcies is like over 90%. There's no bankruptcy problem. This is just a sellout to the banks. And afterwards, I got a call from that senator's chief of staff saying, you know, what the hell do you think you're doing? Obviously, you don't know how to do talk radio. Why don't you take a lesson from fill in the blank of another talk radio show host, who I'm not going to name here, and learn how to do a decent interview with a politician, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And at that point, up to that point, I rarely had politicians on. Since that point, you know, I have Bernie Sanders on every week. Bernie not only will be upfront and say that he's a socialist or a democratic socialist, but he has no idea who the callers are. I'm looking at the call screen software and I see Jeff in Joplin, Missouri. At least I know that. Bernie has no knowledge of what's going to be thrown at him every single week, and for 6 years, every single Friday, for a full hour, he has taken calls from people all over actually all over the world. And I know it's the complete antithesis of that other politician. So, to bring this back to the question about Barack Obama, I'm actually going to answer your question. My commitment is not to any particular politician. My commitment is to the truth. And those... And in fact, it's not even any political party. Those who listen regularly know that I'm a strong and enthusiastic supporter of the Green Party at the local level, and I encourage people to participate with the Green Party at the local level and to join the Democratic Party at the local level and take it over. I think that we can do both. But the Green Party has produced over almost 400 communities now that have instant runoff voting in the United States that the Democratic Party opposed. I think that there's room for all of that in there, and I encourage when rational Republicans call my office, Republicans of my father's variety, I beg them to show up at Republican Party functions and take back the Republican Party. But you know, with regard to President Obama, when I think he's wrong, I say so, and when I think he's right, I say so, and I don't have a filter about, gee, this is going to help him, this is going to hurt him politically. I don't have that high an opinion of myself, frankly, that I think I'm going to have much effect on whether or not he's going to be successful or fail.
Thom, can I pick up on that? Because